So Trump had put up an article earlier today by Lee Smith. I think it was the organization or the news outlet was tabletmag.com or something. The author or the writer, I should say, was Lee Smith. I don't know who that is, but the name of the article was "The Israeli Op." Okay, so and basically was saying the article was saying that we've been lied to about everything by the government, by the media. They lied about the COVID or the origins of COVID. They lied about the Hunter Biden laptop. They lied about elections, lied about Russia, all that stuff. The Russiagate that they went after Trump for. All that uncovered that they lied about, okay? But so this person was saying that, and now we have American first patriots marching with Hamas. Now, if truly American patriots on the right are marching with Hamas, then that's just idiotic, okay? Hamas and, let's just get it straight here. Hamas and Hezbollah have always been terrorist organizations funded by Iran. End of story. I've known that for 2 decades. Israel is our ally, okay? And this article went on to say that the media is pushing that troops are going to have to go into Israel. Israel has never needed us to send them troops. I don't see that happening. I've said that before. That said, the problem we have here is that and basically the article was about how much psychological abuse has been done to the American people. But even reading this article, and much of it was true, okay? But yes, you have some definite bad actors in the mainstream media, for sure, that know that they are pushing propaganda. There's enough evidence for that. And this article was saying, what can you possibly believe anymore? Because, you have the people that don't believe the moon landing, all this stuff, different stuff, okay? And so that's what happens because of people that lie. But many of the people, like maybe even this article, they're still falling into the same trap, in my opinion, because it's about sides, okay? So, yes, there is a clear difference between Israel and Hezbollah and Hamas. There is. But saying, okay, I'm standing with Israel, then you're somehow on the, yeah, that's the side to stand, but that's not where we should be focused. Because you can't help other countries when your own is falling apart and we're being invaded, okay? So we have several problems, and nobody that is willing, first of all, to say the things that I think we need to hear, okay? One of them is that we need to get to the root of the problem, especially in regards to why we have kids that are marching with terrorist organizations, okay? Out of the universities. I think there's this belief by the American people, yeah, we'll just get rid of those professors. That's not going to solve it. Because the problem goes back to the universities and the secret societies. Now, that is not a conspiracy. There's at least 10. There's not just Skull and Bones. There's like 9 others that are worth millions that are tied to foundations and trusts. And those are not they're not fraternities, they are not sororities, they are not clubs. They are secret oath syndicates is what they are. And they fund the campuses. That is how you end up getting these professors that have been linked to terrorist organizations. Bill Ayers, he's retired now, but out of University of Illinois, Chicago, is a perfect example of this. Him and his wife were part of Weather Underground back in the 60s. It was a terrorist organization that was bombing buildings here in America. He went on till he retired as a professor at University of Illinois, Chicago. At Northwestern, they made a special position for his wife. And then you wonder why all these college kids are out marching. Well, it's simple. It's because back in the 1800s, Yale's not the only one. It's all of them. They have these secret, dark syndicates. They're not fraternities. They want to say, oh, it's just some silly society. No, it's a syndicate. It's a high elite syndicate that goes back all the way to that global syndicate. So until people in Washington, politicians, currently in, running, I don't care, want to start talking about the root of the problem, that in order to fix all of this, you need to gut the root out. Because just taking some leaves off of a tree, that would be just removing some professors. That's not going to solve it, because you need to gut the root out, which would be the dark secret societies. Yale's not the only university. They all have them. And they're not fraternities and clubs. They are high elite syndicates, and they take a blood to death. I mean, and then they go on. I mean, they take a blood oath that it's no different than any mob syndicate. That's what it's just a high elite one. They fund the campuses, and in Yale's case, they have since the 1800s. Most of the people in Washington are from Yale or Harvard. We've had John Kerry, Skull and Bones, both the Bushes, all the Bushmen were part of Skull and Bones. Okay, but they're not the only ones. Most of the people in Washington, many of them are tied to secret syndicates. So we don't have any media that's willing to talk about the problem there, and that if you want to fix everything going on, you need to start with speaking up about the syndicates that are running the campuses. They're funding them. So then that's why they get these professors that support terrorism. And then they pass it on to their students. Now, that said, we also need to be hearing from people, elected or not, that are willing to say, yes, we should defund Health and Human Services and CDC, along with FBI, obviously, but most of the three-letter agencies. We need to go back to the original Constitution. Has anybody been talking about that, even that's in office right now? No. They won't talk about what I just said about the secret societies, neither will the media, nor will they talk about defunding Health and Human Services and CDC. We have been being psychologically abused, battered, and manipulated. So the very fact that we don't have any politicians stating that the agencies of health technology need to be defunded is concerning to me. Is very concerning. I think that most of the people in Washington would say we'll just replace the people in these. No, none of these three-letter agencies were part of our Constitution. But when you get syndicate people in office, that's how all these get created. So if you want to help the situation in Israel, or in the Middle East in general, we need to start by we need to get to the root of the problem, start talking about it to gut it out. But as long as everybody wants to say you need to be on this side or that side, then you're never getting to the root of the problem. That's my biggest concern. So you're never going to be able to really fix anything or address anything. So we need to have some politicians that are willing to stand up and speak honestly about these syndicates that are in the university, and that's how the professors get in. And that's then how we get science and technology controlling our lives, because they get in office and then they create these three-letter agencies. That's what needs to happen. What bothers me about this whole Palestine-Israel thing is that the American people have been so battered and abused psychologically that they think that they're somehow, by standing with other countries, that you're doing a good thing. And really, when our country's being invaded and harmed, and our people are, most especially psychologically, the information warfare right now, then we need to have leaders that are willing to be brave enough to speak about the root of the problem. None of them are. So, you can't help any country, most especially your own, until you first want to put the problems you have in this country first, and until you want to speak honestly about how three-letter agencies of health and human services who have been in bed with the science and technology information warfare, they've been doing it in every institution. Till we have people that are willing to say these organizations need to be defunded, and we need to find a way to gut out all of the criminal elements of the university, the secret societies, then we won't fix this.